All right, we are ready to start. Hello, everyone. Um, thanks for joining in. So let's start with a quick progress update. George is not coming today, so I'm going to. Okay, what is it?
We don't have audio.
You don't hear me at all? You don't hear me at all?
Should we use you?
So you guys should restart. Etienne, do you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Brian, do you hear me? Okay, does everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the progress update.
I've lost you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, take two. We've been trying to make simulcast stable lately. We have been able to track down. It mostly works all right, but we experience freezes more often than we think we should. Also, more often than we see them happening with Hangouts. So we've tracked down the issue to potentially how RTP gaps are being handled by the SFU. It seems that Google Hangouts is hiding the gaps on all levels, and that means basically on the RTP layer, also the VP8 layer, by basically rewriting picture IDs to mask gaps. Also, it doesn't seem to be sending any NACs for anything but the base temporal layer of all simulcast layers. So we're still trying to confirm all the hypotheses we have there. Well, Boris and George are working on that. So this was on behalf of George, but Boris maybe. I don't know if you have anything to add there either, but
Not really, no.
okay, Boris doesn't have anything to add. Pavel, do you want to talk next?
Yes, so
Be careful with this. You have to hold the cable. Just yeah.
okay, so I worked on this conference restart thing without reloading the page, and there are still some issues, like we have to fix data channels because when we move conference to new bridge, they are not always correctly reopened. So, but we have a solution for that. It's just not committed yet, and also apart from conference restart, right now there seems like there are some issues with Firefox to Firefox calls where one of participants will not render any video. Reloading the page fixes the problem, but yeah, we're going to look into that.
All right. Thanks. Yeah.
I don't have
Hold the cable. No, not
Oh.
that there. There.
there.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't have a lot to say. I have been working on fixes of the follow me feature, which is the thing that the moderator can enable follow me in the settings, and everyone in the conference is going to see what the moderator is seeing on their screen. And I've been adding some fixes there, and I've been working on fixes for the recorder and in GTmeet and the libgt library, and that's it for me.
Hi, I'm Christo. So I don't have much to say. Recently, I implemented some tests, automated tests about connection times. You can see them in the Torture project. I was testing some issues, small issues, and yeah, I think that's from me.
I hope this is worth it.
I was working mostly on the fixes of the shared video, and also added unhandled exceptions logging in the Meet client and reporting them to CoStats, and also recompiled the open SSL binary with the Etienne's changes.
We should be using this right now, right?
Yes, I think so.
Just a question. Are the Windows version compiled yet?
Well, we didn't have one, and I have compiled only the Linux.
Okay, maybe we should drop the Windows one because they are useless. If we don't rebuild them, at least we should drop the old one. What?
There is old Windows one. Okay.
Well, for Jitsi, we have the whole thing. Don't we have it for?
I don't think we have any Yeti.
So where Etienne, could you please talk about which version you mean?
I think I haven't checked, but I think the Windows version of the GN OpenSSL wrapper, and
Where do you see that?
I'm checking.
I don't think the video reach repo. I think we never built it for Windows in the first place.
Do you hear? Are you able to hear Boris?
I'm wrong. Scratch that, sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't see it in. I'm looking at libgt.
Okay,
Native lib.
maybe not.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay. Aaron?
So my two updates are that we have launched Meet Jitsi, at least for this call, with a Jibri connected to it. So that means we are recording this call using the new Jibri tech. We also have some,
everyone else.
and so could everyone else. Anyone who's the moderator, rather. So that's something we're considering how we're going to handle in Meet Jitsi, but for now, only the moderator can record. We also launched some connection optimization stuff that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, that's pretty much me.
Could you maybe give an estimation of when you think you'd be able to commit your changes to the Jibri project?
It's already out there.
On Jitsi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jitsi Jibri has the latest changes of Jibri.
Awesome. And the stable thing?
We are currently pushing releases to a stable repo after they pass our automation testing. Eventually, we'd like to also have something that says this is a repo that is only versions we've run successfully on Meet Jitsi. So that would be more like golden releases, and we'll probably rename all of them to be nightly, unstable, and then stable, but we'll talk more about that before that comes live.
Hey, so I've been working on enabling the RTX format for retransmissions. We've had this for a while, but it wasn't working. So in the last couple of weeks, I fixed the problems that I found in the bridge and the library and enabled it in GCOFO. So unless you specifically disable it from config.js right now, no, it's disabled by default for now. Sorry about that. So we enabled it for some time, then we found a bunch of problems and we disabled it by default. As soon as we fix the problems, we'll turn it on by default. And I've been helping George debug the freezing stuff for simulcast. That's about it.
So thanks everyone. Just want to point out that now the whole simulcast situation is pretty high priority for us, as well as the work around Jibri. We are trying to make sure we have a solution for the most obvious simulcast problems by the end of the week. Whether or not that will be possible remains to be seen. So we'll see by the end of the week. I'm going to do open mic in a second. I just there was just something that I wanted to discuss around co-stats. So we currently report statistics only from clients, but we have now started. I mean, we report bridge statistics as well, but those are global machine statistics. We have now started to implement support for per call statistics on the bridge level, which should disambiguate a number of situations. However, Lubo, you can join us here if you want. So, however, the issue there is that in the client we were using sort of user-friendly names to make it easier to debug calls, and we don't have these user-friendly names at the bridge. So what we'd like to do is revert to use of identifiers for basically matching, allowing the co-stats infrastructure to match users, but would still like to set display names from the client so that they would be more easily debuggable. So Karthik, would you be able to tell us if that's going to be something that you guys can do soon?
Hi, Varun and I discussed about this today morning. So we'll be changing our side, but I think you need to change your side also the integration. Basically, the parameters will change. That's all. All the calls will remain same, and all the API call parameters will be the same, but only the user ID wherever you are sending will become an object with display name and actual name.
Yeah, that's fine. We were expecting that we would have to change things on the client. So just to be clear, we will be reporting the same ID from the bridge and from the client, but in the interface, you guys will be showing the display name. Can you confirm that?
Yes, we'll be showing the display name and hiding the actual name, and that will be used maybe in the future when we support multiple user admin logins.
Okay. Thank you very much. Lubomir has just arrived. Lubo, do you want to talk a little bit about what you did? No. We're doing it this way. Just gotta grab it there.
Last week I worked on merging ETN's PRs, most notable of which is the optimization of crypto and namely OpenSSL. Probably the update of the whole crypto bouncy castle. And there was some other smaller fixes here and there. Warnings, build process. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. So you also responded to Brian, I think. Okay. I think that concludes our side of things, and we can now do open mic.
So the enhanced stats you guys are talking about, those are going to be on a call level? Is that what did you say, or are they going to be on like an endpoint or channel level?
They are going to be, they would have data for all of these things.
Okay. I put a PR, like kind of a code review style PR about adding some more detailed statistics up a few weeks back, because that's something we really want to do as well. If you guys are going to be adding that sort of stuff anyways, that's great.
No, that's, thanks for reminding that. So you're basically, actually, yeah, would you like to talk a little bit more about what you do there?
Yeah, I mean, that was what I put up was just a very basic kind of idea to run by you guys to see the method of basically adding statistics from a channel, like more detailed statistics at like the channel level. So loss that's seen on a channel, max sent, kind of all that sort of stuff, to make it easier to kind of get, the sending client's perspective, the receiving bridge's perspective, the sending side of the bridge perspective, and then the end downstream receiver client's perspective. That's eventually where we want to eventually get to a point where we can kind of paint that entire picture so we can narrow down exactly where stuff's might be going wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're implementing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Damien, could you please have a look at Brian's PR and see if we're...
Yeah, okay. If you guys are going, give some feedback there, and maybe it's something that we can help contribute to if it's on the same page, because that's something we're going to be looking at in the next probably 6-8 weeks.
All right. Well, this is an active task for us right now, so it should definitely be ready by then.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
I had just a couple of things. Found other couple bugs in last N related stuff. One of them, funnily enough, was something we pushed. So I have some PRs up for those, and some bugs filed around some of the behaviors of pinning in last N. There's also a race condition where a speech activity endpoint can happen before a last N. Before the last N gets configured. I filed a bug for that. I'm not sure what the best way to solve that would be, so I don't have a PR for that. And then I haven't filed anything yet, but we found an issue on Thursday of last week in FMJ where it ignores all payload type 126. It's hard-coded. There's a comment in there about it being due to some X-Lite protocol using payload type 126, but unfortunately 126 is also the default H.264 payload type. I wasn't sure where to file a bug for that because I don't know where the if an FMJ tracker is.
What do you mean? It's the default H264. It's the default where for who?
That's what Firefox uses by default, and
Okay.
I think because of that, we are using that with Chrome. So we can work around that with a different payload type. But I have a feeling that a lot of people don't run into this because they're probably using FEC, which uses 116, I think, by default. But there are some bugs in Chrome with FEC and 264, so we fell back to 126, and we got caught for about a day trying to track this thing down. So we can work around it, but I have a feeling it's going to bite some more people because it's literally like if PT equals 126, return null in this thing. So the bridge doesn't send any feedback.
No, yeah, that definitely sounds like something that we don't want to have there. Do you want to send a PR for that?
Yeah, I don't know if just removing it is enough. It was intentionally, okay, just removing it.
Yeah, that sounds wrong anyway. If we continue seeing some problem with Xlite, we should fix it some other way. But that sounds like something. What is that, Boris?
There's no PRs for FMJ. I don't know how that's gonna work because it's still on SourceForge.
So I'm not sure if you hear Boris. He said there's no PRs for FMJ because it's still on SourceForge.
Right.
So
I can put something on the Jitsi dev list. I can start there if you want to.
You can just do it the old-fashioned way and send a patch.
Okay.
Yes, and that sounds like something that we've probably done like 7 years ago or something.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, figured it out.
Okay. So thanks for noting that. As for the last 10 things, I have a recollection that we talked about some of those on the last go.
These are new. These I think might be new in the past 2 weeks. There were a couple things from a couple weeks ago that get addressed. One of those is introduced one of these bugs, so one of them is related to that. But then, like that race condition is something I just found in the past 2 weeks, and there's some more stuff I want to file. I don't know. We're running into lots of things where, say someone's in last N and they video mute or they leave the call and last N doesn't update based on like a endpoint leaving event or something yet. I haven't filed something like that. We can probably do a PR for that. The other one around that was like the thing I posted about sending a new last N notification if a pin changed the last N. Boris took a look at that. He didn't like the way that I had done it, but we can probably, I don't know Boris, what you think a better way would be, but we could probably figure something out there.
Would you like to?
Yeah. So if I remember the problem correctly, it was a change in the pin. You gotta be close to that. Yeah. You wanted to trigger an event when the order of the forwarded endpoints changed. And
no, I agree with you. If you don't want to do the order, I think we cannot do the order. But I think right now, well, maybe this was order related. From my memory, it's like if you were receiving clients A and B and then you pin client C, we weren't getting a last N. And I'm pretty sure that I had verified that we saw that at the time. And I think that it was supposed to send one, right? So it sounds like a bug, but that may have been an order issue. I can double check.
Yeah, because I don't know. I thought it was an order issue.
Okay. I don't think I understood that's what you meant in your response. All right, I'll double check on that.
Okay.
How about the new ones? Does anyone want to volunteer for? So Brian, you have how many open PRs right now?
I don't know, maybe 2 or 3. It's some are just bugs, some are bugs with PRs, and some are just PRs that probably should have bugs, I think.
So I've been meaning to look at those, but I haven't gotten a chance to yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So Brian, we're trying to. Here's the thing: we're trying to get to the bottom of the simulcast things.
Yeah.
But this is something we'd definitely like to look into. Would it be okay if we looked into it next week?
Yeah, most of them we've already worked around locally. So it's just a question, it's just hopefully getting things fixed upstream for other people. So that should be fine. And then, and actually, and thanks, Boris and George, actually, too, who've been giving us some responses about some of the retransmission work, because that's another thing we've been looking at. We're trying to get a good lay of the land of the world of retransmission and feedback in general around 264 in terms of what Chrome supports. So hopefully we'll have more information there soon. This 126 thing in FMJ was something that was screwing us a bit there, but now we're beyond that. So hopefully we'll get some more info.
That was a pretty good catch. It almost sounds like a trap that we put there intentionally.
Yeah.
Making sure you're paying attention.
Yeah. There may have been some cursing when we found it, but
no, I cannot imagine that.
we don't blame anyone.
All right. Well, so we're going to look into the new PRs. Thanks for submitting them, by the way. We're going to look into them next week.
Yeah. No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for merging all my peers. It was cool.
That was mainly Lubomir. Yeah. Thanks, Lubomir. He did that the entire week, pretty much. So thank you for. This technology is beyond me. Yes, thank you for sending them, Etienne. Is there something you'd like to talk about there?
Yeah, I have two more stuff, but Ingo is not here. Vernerd from ZRTP 4G rejected my changes about secure random. And now that we have dropped the entropy gathering thing in libgt, we have to drop Fortuna from ZRTP4G. Else we are, it's not secure at all, but I will reopen the PR and maybe discuss it with Ingo. And second stuff, I'm working, but it's not a PR yet. I'm profiling Jitsi video bridge and trying to kill to optimize most stuff. And I'm working currently on all the queues. We are over synchronizing on some part, but I will send it like in this week, I think. I have some rework.
Okay, well, be careful with the queue synchronization because it's very delicate. It's very easy to screw things if we get anything.
I know. I think I've copied array blocking queue classes and added implementation of what we need inside it instead of doing it on top of it. So we are not using 2 mutexes per call and stuff like that, but I will send it this week.
So we recently added an abstract queue class in.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you think that this approach uses too much synchronization, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's using a synchronized on top of the array blocking queue, and we just need an insert function. When the queue is full, you insert, and it gives you back the packet that can't fit in the queue anymore, the id. And we need a system to close the queue, and that's it. But I will send it this week. It's separate commit, and it's really readable.
Can we do this work and the abstract queue in Ice4j then? It's meant to be used eventually to replace.
I'm doing it in Ice4j. It's a replacement for array blocking queue, but after that I'm using it in the packet queue in Ice4j.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Etienne, could you please talk a little bit about where you, how did you end up looking into the synchronization of the queue?
I'm profiling using Honest Profiler and just taking the top 10 or top 20 and looking at functions that I don't
Top
think.
20 what?
What?
Top 20 what?
Top 20 functions in the most used function in time. And yeah, just looking at what does not feel right and trying to optimize there.
So, well, isn't that a little bit of a risky approach though? Because you can be spending a lot of time in a method if you're calling it a lot and not only when it's blocking.
No, yes, but you will see the before and after profile, and it's obvious.
Okay. Well, thank you for looking into that. And also, I'm curious. This is really just out of curiosity. Are you actually hitting CPU limits somewhere? Because we basically decided to hold on CPU optimizations for a while, because on any machine that we run this, we basically hit the bandwidth ceiling long before we even get close to hitting the CPU limit.
Yeah, no, I'm not hitting any limit yet. I'm just yeah.
You're just being proactive.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Etienne, may I ask you, when you submit your PRs, may you please put some description, like what kind of a profile you've seen, what was the difference, like the times before and after, so that we can like decide how urgent this is. For example, how do you see issues with synchronization? Because that's a different profile. It's not a sampling. It's not a tracing. It's something else. So yeah, please add those details. Thank you.
Thanks, Etienne. I don't have anything else on my list. Is there anything that anyone else would like to discuss?
The other thing I'll throw out there that Etienne's thing reminded me of that you were asking about, we're doing some, going to do some load tests with TestRTC soon. The main difference being that we're doing it from this view of not how many streams at any bandwidth could it do, but how many streams can we load across the bridge that are all doing like 2.5 meg at 720. So when we get some results there, I can share them.
That is very helpful. Thank you. Before we go, I was interested, is the experience better for you guys now that we're using this super uncomfortable mic? Or is it pretty much the same as before?
I haven't noticed too much of a difference.
That's what we were going for. Okay. Well, I guess it helps us feel more committed because it really is very clunky.
You guys look really official, though.
Yeah. Yes.
We could bust out a ballad at almost any moment.
Yeah. So we'll bring ties next time. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining and for contributing to the call. We're going to meet again on the list or in 2 weeks here. Have a great day.
Bye.